Hello YouTube, this is Zach Turner again here on ChardarYGiOh's channel. Uh, I got first place today at my locals, and I did that today with Zoodiac. This is a deck that I've had put together for a while now. Haven't really done a lot with it, and just decided to take it to locals today, and did really well. So we're gonna get into the profile here. Starting off with the monsters, our zoo names. We are on 3 copies of Thoroughblade. This is kind of the best one in the deck, as it just gets you deeper into your deck. Uh, he also triggers on normal or special, so like I said, it just allows you to get dead zoos out of your hand and is able to turn them into other good cards in your deck. As well, we're playing 3 copies of Ram. Playing 3 Whiptail. This card's really good because it allows you to put more materials onto your zoos, which then later on turns into more activations for your zoos. Um, I did have a game today where this did help me win in time. I was able to put 2 Whiptails underneath my Borbo and an attack for about 4,000 damage. So does come up in time every now and then. I am opting to only play 2 Bunny Blast, and then the last zoo name is the Cataroost. Moving forward, I don't think I am going to be playing the Cataroost anymore. It is nice to have multiple zoo names, but in all honesty, today I almost felt like I saw too many zoo names with these 12 and also with 2 Tenkies. I really think that you're kind of overstepping how many names you should be playing. So this card will eventually be cut, and maybe we'll go down to a couple less zoo names. But the 2 Bunny Blasts are really good. I wouldn't really change those out. And these are the 12 names I played today. We are opting to play the DPE package because we do have a lot of space in this deck. So we're able to fit in a lot of different kind of good stuff packages. So we are opting to play DPE. This came up a lot today. It was really nice when I saw it, and every game I did see it, I ended up winning. So just getting the draw 2 and the special summon is just really, really good in this deck. Continuing on with kind of our good stuff packages, we are playing some hand traps. So we're on 3-Dimensional Shifter. If you have the room to play it and you can play it, chances are you should probably be playing it. As well, we're playing 3 Ash Blossom Joyous Spring, and as well as triple Nibiru. Moving forward, especially with Ishizu tier right around the corner, the Ash Blossoms are probably going to be changed out. I want to change them over into the buy steals, so probably some Magnamoots and Druisworm or 2. Mine just simply haven't came in the mail yet, but overall, this hand trap lineup was fine for me today, especially when I was able to activate Nibiru and then chain Shifter. That happened a couple times today and really messes up a lot of key boards that my opponents are trying to make, especially playing against things like Tier. If you Nibiru their board while they're under a D Shifter, they really don't have much of a follow up. And then Ash is just kind of a generically good card overall. Continuing on with kind of our good stuff engine, we are on the Triple Forbidden Droplet. This is to just help us go second. And as well, everyone's least favorite card in the format, we are on the Triple Mystic Mine. To tell you the truth, I don't really think Mystic Mine was that good for me today. Every time I resolved it, it felt very suboptimal. I felt like I couldn't really just sit back and let my opponent just play the deck out game. So a lot of times I always felt like I was the one that needed to take the aggressive approach. And I feel like when you are playing a card like Mystic Mine, that's never a game you want to play. So eventually, I think I will end up cutting the mines. It's really good going second right now, especially in a local environment when people aren't really prepared for it, and sometimes it can just steal a game. And then one of the last going second cards I have is the Feather Duster. I wanted to have at least one card for back row in the main deck in case I got mined myself, but I didn't see any Mystic Mine today. I saw a lot of regular traps though, and unfortunately, I just never saw this card, but I was able to play through them. We are on the triple Fusion Destiny. I cannot tell you how amazing this card is. Hurts a little bit now that we don't have Verte in the format, but I mean, when you can just make a 4 material Zeus, clear the board, and then just slap this down, really just ruins a lot of people's day, especially in this kind of deck where they're not really expecting it. So if they have the dimensional barrier and they call Xyz, and you have this in your hand, you at least get to at least one form of an interruption. I had a player today who thought he stopped me. He debarriered me and called Xyz, and I just said, okay, activate Fusion Destiny. And he looked at me and he was like, are you serious? So this engine, like I said, is just insane in this deck. We are on the 2 Tenki. Can only play 2, but so like I said, this is just additional copies of any zoo name. Also gives you a little bit extra damage, but a lot of times it really doesn't come up. And then I'm playing Avarice over Pot of Desires. If you decide not to play the DPE engine, I do recommend playing the Desires, but if you're going to play things like DPE or some other type of Garnet engine, I suggest playing the Avarice. This card was just really good overall today. Never really missed having the third one. 2 was honestly really, really nice. I did draw 2 of them my opening hand. That kind of sucked, but like I said, just really good card to have. Gets you out of a lot of sticky situations when you're running out of resources. And then the last spell I have is the one Reborn. This is just to replace your barrage in the sense. Doesn't special from deck, but most of the times you never really need a special from deck, especially with barrage. It was just kind of your extender to get through not having a normal summon. So, and then the last 3 cards of the deck I'm playing are 3 infinite impermanents. Like I said, you have a lot of space in this deck to just play good stuff and good cards. So I wanted to play the imperms just as another way to interact with my opponent. This card is just really good as well because you can use it under Shifter. I made my hand trap lineup specifically for to be able to use under Shifter. So if my opponent puts me under a Shifter, I put them under a Shifter. You're able to use all the hand traps that are currently in the deck. The only card really you can't use under Shifter is Droplet, but you can just hold it for the next turn or just hold it whenever you need it. That's it for the main deck. It is a 41 card main deck. You could cut the DPE engine and play things like Lightning Storm if you expect to see more back row, or you could play the buy steals. And I mean, if you play the buy steals, you can cut that down right away to 40 and just play more hand traps. But onto the extra. This is probably one of the most straightforward extra decks in the game. We're on triple Borbo, triple Chalkanine, 2 Tiger Mortar, and then 2 Hammer Kong. Borbo's really just not really much to say about it. It's your attack directly. It's what gets you to damage and what meets the requirement for your Zeus. Chalkanine is really good because it helps you push for the turn 3 OTK, especially if you have Thoroughblade in the graveyard. And then I opted to play 2 Mortar and 2 Kong, just because in testing I was coming up with situations where I was not able to put multiple zoo names under the same monster. So if I had to use a chalk or a mortar effect, I was not able to get the 4th material for my Zeus. So I wanted to have just an extra name of Hammer Kong just in case if I went through it on the turn 1, and then when I make it turn 3, I still have that extra material. So you could opt to play 3 Mortar, but I believe 2 Kong is just better in this extra deck just because it gives you another name to cycle through. We are playing one Vespanado Konami. Please make this a super rare. This card's just really good overall. Helps push for OTKs. Does piercing as well. And it's just kind of an annoying card to get around. And it also can reborn. And then really the only reason why this deck is even somewhat playable are the triple Zeus. Really, we're the only place that has something like this, because over in the OCG, Zeus is at 1. But this card is just insane. Just being able to make a Zeus, clear your opponent's board, and having another trigger with it. And also as well, just on future turns, switching this to attack, taking a swing out of your opponent, and then main phase 2, just being able to slap another Zeus on top of it. It's just really just too much pressure a lot of times for your opponent to play through. So, yeah, this card's just, like I said, this card's just amazing. And then the last card we're playing is the 1 DPE. In grind games, this card just wins overall. I had a Labyrinth player I was playing today, and he just wasn't able to break the DPE, because every turn he tried to set something, I was just popping it with DPE. He had no way to really clear the monster. And also just having Celestial and Dasher in your deck, being able to use them later on for their effects is just too much advantage a lot of times. That's it for the extra side deck. We do still play a couple other going second cards. We are on the triple alpha, so I really like this card, this format, because it is a way to deal with problematic monsters, but it does not send them to the graveyard. It bounces them back to hand. So if your opponent has something like a Dracostapelia on the board, you can just special summon this, use the effect, try to force out the negate, and if they end up using the negate on the alpha, now you just have a free line to use your Zeus and get to your Zoodiacs. And also, this is just a big body. Right now in this format, a lot of decks struggle to deal with big bodies, so this card's just really good. That's the only go second card I play in the side deck. Like I said, your deck is already pretty teched out to go second and just blind clear your opponent's board. This was just something I wanted to add in case I needed it. But now going into kind of just the rest of the side, it's just a lot of degenerate going first floodgates. So we are on the 1 Scythe, as well as the triple Sanctum. Not really much to say about this. Just really good card to have, especially when you know your opponent is going to make you go first, or if you want to go first and just throw them off. This card is just too insane. It just stops turns, especially in the crackback with Zeus. You're able to summon the Scythe, declare the Scythe, and if you have a Zeus activation, if they try to imperm you, you can just clear the Scythe off the board, and now they can't really stop the Scythe. As well, we are on the triple dimensional barrier. Like I said, our going first pool is a lot of just cards that just end your opponent's turn, or just try to prevent them from playing the game. In order to search out these 2 cards, we are on also 2 trap tricks. One to find space for the third one, but the side deck was just too tight. I just had too many options that I wanted to include in this side deck, but this card is just really good because it can get you the D-Barrier, the Sanctum, or it can get you an Imperm in the main deck. So, like I said, these cards were just MVP all day. In games 2 and 3, I was able to Zeus my opponent, and then I could just set up a D-Barrier or a Scythe, and a lot of times they were not able to break through it. And then the last card in the side deck is triple Cosmic. I built this side deck with a local meta game in mind. So my locals does have a lot of Eldritch and a lot of Labyrinth. So I just want something in order to get rid of their problematic cards and get rid of their annoying traps that just reset themselves, or cycle through each other. Also, this card is just better against tier because both the tier traps trigger when they're sent to grave. So this banishes them and it does not send them to grave. But yep, that is my deck profile. Like I said, I went undefeated today with Zoodiac. And do I think this deck is the meta killer? Absolutely not. But this is definitely a very fun deck that you can take to locals, and it's actually quite budget, if I'm being honest. So if you're ever looking for a budget option to take to your locals or take into a regional event, this is definitely one of those options. But thank you for watching the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. We always like responding to your feedback. And that is it for me. Catch you next time, YouTube. Peace out.